Collective, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. Happy day, happy new week. I have a lot on my plate right now. I mean, I kind of always do, but I was not able to get the beginning of the zodiac readings up today, so I figured I'd do a little collective mini read. This is for anyone the message resonates for. Take what fits, leave the rest behind. We're in the middle of Aries season, and there is this call to empower self. Empower self in the face of a lot of changes, a lot of things that are transitioning, a lot of things that are coming to the surface that are kind of difficult to contend with. The reason that they are coming up, the reason that they are being highlighted in the astrology, we have Mercury and Venus in retrograde, but they're also coming up so we can look at them and see what needs a little more attention, what needs a little bit more tender, loving care. There is a lot of fear surrounding changes, however. Fear about our own ability to achieve what we are going after. There are people, situations coming out that can be aggressive, that can be negative, that can try to scare us into submission or believing that whatever we're going after is not for us, is not going to work. And so we have to kind of overcome some of those things. We have to believe in ourselves more than others are right now. And more specifically, the naysayers, the people that are kind of trying to that aren't really on our side, aren't really on our team. And some of those realizations are really painful because these are people, situations that have been around for a while, people we believed in, etc. And like I said, with that Venus in retrograde, it is really highlighting where there are disconnects. That's why I'd like to start off these readings with an energy cleansing, just set the tone, set the vibe for the reading. It's a really good time to set your own intention as well, especially if you've come into this reading with something on your heart, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a great way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing, wellness services. Readings are one of them if you want me to look at your specific situation, or if you're just interested in a rebalancing of your mind, body, soul. I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we're operating from that space of alignment, when we feel grounded in self, when we know what we want, it makes living a life of happiness, fulfillment, making those kinds of choices for ourselves that much easier. So if you want to get into contact with me, excuse me, sorry, that came out a little weird. Excuse me. If you want to get into contact, I would love to help and support in whatever way possible. All the info to connect with me is in the description box below. All right, collective, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama love, Mama love. Amen. All right, so astrologically, we're kind of like vacillating back and forth between support, things that make us feel good, things that make us feel empowered, and then those emotions, those fears that are getting stirred of if we can actually do it, if we can actually overcome, or if those opportunities are going to come our way. When I'm recording today, the energy is feeling really nice, but there's not a lot of movement. There's not a lot of movement right now with Mars. It's keeping us stagnant, or it's keeping us in these dynamics that we are forced to contend with, forced to work through. And honestly, I see this as a blessing, even though it can be really annoying. And believe me, I have my own stuff too, but it's like, it actually, like I said, it's kind of allowing us to move through life, kind of looking at people, situations with a fine-tooth comb, and really understanding, you know, what is worth putting our time, putting our energy into, and what is not. Because there are some things that are happening right now where, again, relationships are being highlighted. People aren't being completely honest, right? You think someone is lying, well, they are, right? We're seeing this a lot, especially with the way Black Moon Lilith is tensely aspected to Pluto. She doesn't want things to change. She wants us to believe, to buy into the notion that either this person's going to show up differently, or it's your fault, not theirs. Things are going to get better, or maybe they have the golden ticket, that type of vibe. When in reality, it's honestly a weeding out. We saw this in the beginning of the week. Check out the weekly reading, the weekly energy, if you're into it. But there are some things that are coming to the surface this week that are going to test us, that are going to challenge us. And again, not in the most fun way. And it's not in this way where like we're left high and dry, like, you know, you got to work it out on your own. Because there is a lot of support in the astrology. I feel like these are specifically things that we don't want to deal with, things that you're putting too much energy into, that you're allowing to kind of take over your mind, your mental, your emotional. And it's not good, bad, right, or wrong. There's this value of, if stuff keeps happening, if people show you over and over and over again, well, then that's what you need to see, right? And I feel like this is part of that wisdom that is being called right now. Neptune just moved into Aries. So it had a long season in Pisces, and basically exemplified or heightened our intuition. However, it was this dance between what is fear, what is illusion, and what is actually our intuition. And part of the tension that we're seeing right now is because of that dance, but we're also 100% coming in as the devil. Sorry, I didn't even see that. But we're also in this space where it's now becoming the fuel. It's now like we see it for what it is. And now you have to trust yourself. Now you have to believe yourself and validate yourself, because someone or something is trying to provoke you, right? What I'm seeing is there's a lot of shady energy on the board. You were trying, you were putting your best foot forward with a person, with a situation, no matter what they threw at you. And it feels like whatever they were throwing at you was lies, it was deceit, it was manipulation, things that they were trying to, again, orchestrate to put you in the chains that bind you. Essentially, the devil is this message that we can release ourselves from these chains, but we make a choice as to whether we do. And it looks like this is coming out of someone who's really stressed out. They have a lot on their plate. But the way that they're acting, the way that they're behaving, isn't necessarily warranting. It's not fair. Essentially, it's not fair. It's not fair. They're on the defense. This, and this might be a group of people who you kind of feel are like, I don't know, ganging up against you. We have, the Knight and King of Swords. Someone's trying to make some type of plan of action, and you feel this. You're in this space where it's really important to self-protect right now, especially because you are being provoked. Whatever this person's situation is doing to you, you're giving it too much power. You're giving it too much power in your life. And I feel like the name of the game is to overcome some of this, right? Is to overcome, there are good things on the way. And that's part of what we're not seeing. because we're so consumed with whatever this is. And rightfully so, with your energy as the devil, because I don't think you are the devil. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm hearing that whatever is happening in this dynamic, it is messing with your mind. It's messing with your value, with your worth. And it's time to push the ball forward. You can see this. You can see through this person, through this situation. I feel like they're trying to force the issue. They're trying to put you in a tight spot so that you will accommodate them and their wishes. But it looks like you are setting up some boundaries. It looks like, because I feel like this is a lot of the pressure that they're under, and it looks like they're about to combust. It looks like a lot of whatever they're throwing at you, whatever they're throwing your way, is because their own stuff is not in order, because they have a lot of stress. And not saying that you don't, you do, but you're in this place where like, I'm not putting up with it anymore. I'm not putting up with the BS. I'm not going to let this toxic stuff take over. You recognize that on some level there is a little bit of a problem, because again, it's the same pattern, it's the same cycle over and over and over again, and this is someone else's problem and issue. This is not yours. But you're like, it's your perceived foundation. It's your perceived sense of support. And that's where this trickery comes into play. We're seeing the Seven of Swords. That's how you're perceiving their energy. Like they're lying, right? Confirmation in the cards. They're lying, they're deceiving. This is that part of the Mars energy that we're seeing stuck, that we're seeing limited, that Pluto tensely aspected to Black Moon Lilith. Because again, it's like, we can't let whatever these people are saying, doing, infiltrate to the point that it brings out these parts of us that like are not worthy of them, right? Like I feel like that's kind of the goal, to be honest. The goal is to get you to react. The goal is to get you to respond. It's to make you look a certain way so that people around you are like, oh, that's how the collective is. Oh, I don't want to deal with that type of stuff. But And on some level, you buy into that belief too. You buy into this belief of whatever they're selling, because on some level, it makes sense. But I also feel like this is a twisting of the truth. That's how the energy comes through. And that's part of that sun tensely aspected to the vertex point, 100%. Cards never lie. Someone is projecting themselves to the detriment of everyone involved in the situation. And that's where I feel like part of that wisdom comes into play. Well, if they're projecting their stuff onto you, then flip it back around to them, you know? And that's not always easy in the heat of the moment, especially when we're dealing with people who know how to use their words, who also know how to use your words against you. But finding your peace and calm, the more you can approach this with a balanced, centered state of being, the easier it's gonna be to like let it roll off your shoulders, right? Let it roll off, not put too much power into it, not give it too much credit, way more credit than what it deserves, focusing on yourself and believing in the miracles. We're seeing this consistently. Double confirmation, definitely check out the weekly reading if you're interested, but we're definitely seeing this all across the board, this confirmation that like if you just keep pushing through a little bit more, good things are on the other side. Good things are on the other side of the tunnel. It just feels like shit because of all this stuff that this person's situation is throwing onto you, trying to twist the narrative, trying to make you think, feel, believe that this is all about you, when it's really not. It's not. Yeah, you might participate on some level. You'll have to understand what that is for you and where you need to set better boundaries with people, situations like this. But at the same time, it's not because you're not putting in an effort, right? You've tried every which way. You've tried every which way. Allow that stuff to come to you. It is on its way to you. Just don't fucking force it right now. Oops, sorry. All right, thank you so much for your time, Energy Collective. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I love to hear, or just say, hey, sharing a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support that you bring to the channel. No, I'm sending it back your way.